Thanks for starting your day with us. Ryan and Lisa, mornings on CFAX 1070.
Let's talk more about this joint statement signed by the Esquimalt, the Songhees, the Metis representatives, First Nations across the Greater Victoria area, reacting to news that the School District 61 school board has been reinstated by the province after this court case collapsed earlier this week. They are saying, though, that there hasn't been any clear communication about all of this with the Indigenous Education Council. And one of the other people signing on to this statement is the Urban People's House Indigenous Advisory. And their chair, Ron Rice, is on the line with us right now to discuss this. Hello, how are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Can I ask, when all this news broke earlier this week, the province coming out and saying, we've made an error in the court case. We've got to fold our case. We're putting the school board back. The school board trustees that had been taking the province to court over, they're firing. So we're undoing all of that. When all of that news came out, talk about how that hit you and like how you got that news.
So our conduit to all of this is obviously the school district office and the Indigenous Education Department. And I actually heard the news because I was getting a barrage of media requests, which I didn't understand. And, sort of the first outlet I spoke to, I said, "What decision are you talking about?" And they are the ones who broke the news to me. And the only information I could find was actually through the media.
So you more or less heard through the media.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the crux of what you're talking about here. You're saying, why weren't we included in the discussion at all, or at least given a heads up? That's kind of the point here, I guess.
Yeah, I think, the challenges that have been attached to all of this, stemmed from a lack of consultation with the four Indigenous houses, and here we are again, but this time at the hands of the ministry. And it just struck us as, of course, shocking, but just it's starting to feel a little too familiar.
Now, talk about, again, because this whole issue to begin with, going back to when the board was first fired, a lot of it was over the student liaisons or the police officer liaisons in schools, and the province trying to force the school board into some kind of going back to school student liaison officers in some way. And there was a lot of it erupted in what ended up happening, the school board getting fired. I don't need to lay it all out, I guess, but remind us of where from the Indigenous side of things, because that was a big piece of this, sort of their call for this to also be reinstated was a big bit. Is that also part of this, or how are you? So this question's a bit muddled. I apologize, but I'm trying to get to, I guess, where you guys stand on this in general, and what concerns you have now that the school board has been reinstated. That's what I'm trying to ask.
Sure. So I think, the original situation required the school board to engage with certain parties to develop their safety plan. We were in a few meetings leading up to various deadlines, offering up dates and times, and spending half days with different players in all of this, offering up time during our winter break and things like that, and weren't consulted in their final submission, weren't presented a draft of it, weren't asked for any comment or any input. And when we were asked, were you consulted, which was a requirement, we confirmed that we were not. So it wasn't that the school board was being forced in one direction. They were told, you need to submit a plan that involves all of these different parties, and they chose not to.
So given those issues back then with the school trustees, how are you feeling, and the group you represent, about the school board coming back? Have you talked to them at all?
No, we haven't. We haven't had a chance to speak. We're certainly concerned. There's been a lot of talk about overturning every decision that was made by the sole trustee. The plan that ultimately was accepted by the minister and the ministry was through consultation with all the parties at hand. So, it is concerning that our view, our opinion, our perspective will be disregarded.
Where do you think it goes from here, and what are you hoping this joint statement will accomplish?
I think it's just a reminder to the province that the very thing that was a criticism for the returning board is the action that is being taken by the province now. To exclude us from even a heads up or here's the statement or they have huge communications teams. It wouldn't have been hard to send a note. And to be scrambling around trying to find this information, it creates an unnecessary sense of fear and panic. And I don't think that's what we need at this point. I think we sort of need to be centered around the children and the students and to be, looking at this from a productive place, not from panic and chaos.
Well, I'm really glad you could join us today and share another perspective on the story as we try to unpack it and understand the impacts of it after it emerged at the beginning of the week. Ron Rice, chair of the Urban People's House Indigenous Advisory, one of the ones on this joint statement signed by also the Esquimalt, the Songhees, and the Metis representatives, just pointing out that where's the communication from the province and all this with this group as they made that decision earlier this week. Anything else to add, sir?
No, I think that's it for now. We're the four houses are working close together to make sure we're all on the same page, and we hope to hear from the school district and the ministry soon.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.